No hesitation. Oh no! I forgot a thing. I'm here. Oh, my cat's on the move. My cat's on the move. Caboose. Caboose. What's going on, people? No one here because I didn't tweet this stream. This is the untweeted stream. Who will watch it? It's a mystery. As I throw my watch across the room. I'm going to organize these parts. Oh, look at this low kilobits per second. Stream is already running poorly. All the drop frames. Who could have thought so many drop frames? Oh, did it stabilize? Nope. It's fine. This is just, we're just testing the video quality. It should be improved. So first things first, we need this one. And this one. So I'm thinking this one's going to hold the plates, any extra plates. But these turn out to be wider than expected. And this only goes like this. I can remove this and make it wider. But then does it fit? Oh, it just barely fits. Okay. I was going to pull up more plates. But now I'm glad I'm not going to. I decided I'm not going to unbox all my things. Because, oh, I don't have my tools. Should I just break it off? Is that a sin? It is. This is where I'll put all the plastic parts. Oh, I don't have a garbage can here either. I'm very organized. So we'll put this tray to the side because that's holding our extra pieces. I'm going to open up these screws though. So we have to remove the piece that I don't know what it does. This thing. I never learned what this does. Do I have the instructions? Yes. Am I going to check them? No. So that goes there. We have rollers. They're plastic, so we'll go here. We have a spring. We'll put this in here too, because it's metal though. We're going to have a lot of screws though. Oh, look at that thing bounce. And plus, this is an important one. These toppers, we'll leave them together. We'll put that there. And this rubber hose we'll put here. So that's everything that goes. My microphone is in a terrible place. I'm like way up on my microphone. Microphone, it's going to peak. Oh, look, there's the microphone. Look at the microphone. Look. Check this out. This is the crazy. So this right here, this is a microphone stand. Here, this is a microphone stand right here. And then it goes into a microphone stand to video camera plate. So this is so you can mount a video camera jack, like a video camera mounting point, like on a tripod, to your mic stand for some reason. But it's a ball joint that locks, which is why I bought it. And then in the mic, we have a camera jack to microphone thread adapter, and then the microphone. So the microphone pivots here with the microphone's built-in thing, and here at the ball joint. So that's how I get all my motion for moving my mic around. Because I can't have a mic arm. And I can't have a mic arm because I have a glass desk. And the mic arm would shatter the desk when I tried to move the mic. Now my microphone's too high. Yeah, is it? Whoever's watching this, are you enjoying this scuff stream? I know I will be watching this. I watch many of my streams. Okay, so this one's done. So this is going to be plastic bits. Any plates that I don't use, I'm probably going to stack the bill. This one doesn't fit because it's so long. I could cut out more of it, but I don't know how. This is that kind of rubbery plastic where it's like you cut it and it doesn't cut so well. We're going to call this done for now. Because if I remove these, I can stick more plates down here should I need to. So that's good for now on this one. So that one's done. Now we're going to move on to the next one. And we're probably not going to need this one for now. So we'll throw that across the room, which I'll regret later. All right, so we'll put any mass dampers we have in the bottom. Oh, we need my caliper. We need the digital caliper to measure all my screws. How many screw sizes do I have? Too many, I can tell you that. 0. All right. So we want lock washers here. Brass bits next to it. So these are for... Wait, how's that camera? No. 2 spots. Can we adjust that? Oh, I hit a button on the camera. You like that zoom in? Oh, that's... We're now going through my photos. Oh, now we're back to the camera. 2. 1, 2. You know, I could just loosen the ball joint and it would rotate smoothly. Okay, it's loose. Oh boy, I had that tight. So we don't want to rotate. Okay, we don't want to rotate this way. Rotate this way. Nope, rotate like this, okay? Like this. And up all the way. Now we lock it down. Oh, we zoomed in again. I just realized I can zoom in now. So, because I'm going in... Oh, we're losing our... Because I'm going in via HDMI. Any focus point I have, I can zoom in on by stroking the camera. Would you look at that? And then I hit the trash can. That's not the trash can. Trash can to center the focus point back into the center. And the center... Yeah, and it's literally right here on the center of my cutting board is the focus point. But I can just tap the screen to move that now. I've always been able to do that. Now if I want to zoom in on the screws... Why did it move like that? Did the camera... No, it's tight. Or if we want to zoom in on the top of the caliper. Look at that. Or the pilot screws. Looks like one level of zoom is still sharp. See, this is the... It looks pretty readable, actually. Not bad. Like, it's more readable zooming in than it is... Look at that. You can read the address, but when you zoom out, it's a little harder. Still better. This is an interesting improvement. I may make use of these technologies. So this is the mine of the garbage can. Okay. All right, back to what we were doing. You like the sound of that? Lock washer. It's almost like, hey, maybe if you get tweezers, you'll have an easier time of this. So, let us get the tweezers. So look at that. That's how you save money. Certified refurbished. What's interesting is, like, I bought my MacBook Air M1 like a couple months after the M1 came out. So how are there refurbished M1s when it was new? Who knows? Enjoy your Plamo life. Oh, I moved the camera, or the light. The light is still up here, but now it's, instead of being around the lens, it's kind of off to the side. So any glare I have instead of being right in the center of the screen, blinding whatever I'm trying to look at, it's kind of off to the side, as you can see. And because I'm going through HDMI instead of USB, the glare is less horrifying. So now when I have a glare thing, it doesn't look as blinding as it did before. And I can have it in the center of the screen and it's not glare at all. So, user improvements. Knife? I don't want a knife. What do I want? Tweezers is what I want. I really love my little Palamo case, but I'm kind of like, I've kind of outgrown it. Where's the tweezers? Where's the tweezers? Where are my tweezers? Wait, where are my tweezers? Where are the tweezers? And I don't normally keep these in here. I usually keep them on top. Oh no, where are the tweezers? Okay, marker. Did I lose my tweezers? Maybe we'll keep these in here. This in here too. And the screwdriver in here. Sanding sponge, oil pen here. My tweezers are on my desk. Like, and yes, there are tweezers there. You're right, but not the tweezers I want. 1, 2, 3. I think there's a little bit of lag. It's pretty much the same as it was under the USB, though. I don't think it's any different. Also, I have to mute the input. So, funny story. I bought a cheap USB capture device. It's 1080p, and it said, "Hey, I can show it to you. It's right here. It's this piece of garbage here." So I'm like, "Hey, I watch lots of reviews from reviewers, and they're all like the same thing. They're like, yeah, it's not the best. It's not the greatest thing you've ever seen, but it does capture 1080p." And I saw like, let's move this and put the lock washers here. So I'm like, okay, it's not the best thing. We'll put bolts here. It's not the best thing in the world, and it looks just like this with the little, like this and the spot. It looked like this. And it's like, it's not the best thing in the world, but it does capture 1080p. And it does that reliably. This is a spacer. Spacer goes in the top. This is the thinnest one. These are so cool. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. All I need is 1080p. I stream in 1080p. So if the video was captured in 1080p, it should look pretty good. Maybe at some point I'll upgrade to an Elgato Cam Link and I'll capture 4K and that'll be fancy. I don't have room for screws in this. If I'm having spacers in this, unless I want to put all the spacers in one spot, but then maybe I'll put all the spacers in one spot. It's not like I have that many spare parts right now. Anyways, what was I saying? So 1080p captures it okay. It looks fine. Some detail in the colors is a little iffy. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy this thing for $30, and I'll buy myself an HDMI cable for my camera. Because I use it for photography. I only recently used it for video. It's an EOS R. It can do 4K. So I'm like, okay, let's invest a little bit as a start. Well, color me disappointed, because this thing either worked once. It only worked once. And when it did work, my Logitech camera that I'm using right now didn't work at all. So, I guess I'll put this with the other brass bits, even though it's a different purpose. So yeah, I was incredibly irritated by this turn of events. So, how am I capturing HDMI right now, you ask? Well, let me tell you. The same way I capture my video game console footage. So, my Nintendo Switch, my Xbox Series S, when I start streaming that, my Xbox original, all of them are being captured through the Elgato HD60, which does 1080p. And all the settings are already in here. Well, not so I have to flip the video over like 180. So if I started a game up right now, it'd be upside down because how the camera is situated on the tripod, because how I have the tripod on my desk, I kind of have to have the camera in this position. But as a Mr. J's 2 cents says, I digress. Maybe we'll put these with these because these are also for rollers. Anyways. So, why didn't you just capture your camera with the Elgato HD cam thingy before? Because I didn't have the cable. And I was too cheap to buy the cable. And it's only when I decided to buy this piece of garbage that I'm like, okay, I'll get the cable. Only for this thing to completely betray me. Now, had this not worked and I didn't have the capture card, I would have been very mad. But because I have a capture card and it's all working and it does look better, it feels hard to truly complain about these things. So, I don't know how I feel about all of this. On one hand, I'm like, I wish it worked properly. Are these a lock nut? I don't think any of them are lock nuts. If only we could tap on it and zoom in. One of them is a lock nut. Look at that. My new zooming feature is immediately paid off. One thing that people hate on the EOS R is the touchpad. It has like a touchpad thing. And people are like, man, that touchpad thing is terrible. But I always used it to zoom in because when I'm taking photos of dolls and you have their heads set up in a certain way, you can't tell exactly what way they're looking. You look at them and they're like, which way are you looking? It's really hard to tell. So one of the foolproof ways I discovered is if you use the zoom in function on the camera, you can zoom in and tell what way they're looking. I don't know if that was a feature on my previous camera, the EOS 70D, but it is a feature on the R, and I have it mapped to that one button. These are different links. I got out my calipers, but then I realized I can just stick all the screws next to each other. Ooh, it's a Chonga screw. 2 Chonga screws. Okay, we're gonna put the Chonga screws here. They're the biggest. And then these slightly shorter screws are gonna go here in the next gap. Could you imagine if I was doing this without tweezers? And we'll put these tiny, tiny screws here. This is the next size up of screw, and that's the next size up again. And this is a different size altogether. So is this one. This is a different size again. Boy, how many different sizes of screws do you need? I've come to the realization, violently, like I was just chilling and then suddenly violent realization. Ooh, I'm done. Look at that. My cat box is empty. I shall reward myself by grabbing another container. Which I guess is going to be dedicated to screws. After all. Because I have a lot of different types of screws. Because I have all these too. But then how many containers do I want? But how organized do I want to be? I mean, I want to be somewhat organized. All right, so these are one size. These are another size. These are another size again. These are another size again. And these have fat heads. So we're going to set that aside. We're going to set this aside. Yeah! So I should probably return it to Amazon. I don't... Let's just say in the future, nearby, I've made plans. I've spent a little money. I might have to mail some stuff. I really struggle with mailing things. Like, I bought 2 more of these and 2 more of these. Why did you buy so many? Because I'm gonna need them. Oh, I should talk about... But anyways, yeah, I gotta mail stuff, I think. Because of a thing I did. The problem is, I don't know. I struggle with mailing things. I don't know why. My brain is bad. So, oh, these sort of the sizes on the Biac. 15 millimeter, 12 millimeter, 10 millimeter. We have lock nuts and regular nuts. I don't know why lock nuts are so rare. I spent way too much money for 5 lock nuts in the color blue. Ugh. What's in here? Just regular nuts. 6 millimeter spacer, 3 millimeter spacer, 30 millimeter screw, 20 millimeter screw, and another 15 millimeter screw. Maybe we're getting close to the maximum number of screws though already. Because there can't be that many sizes of screw, right? Right? I don't know. We'll find out. But then all my spacers are in a pile. But I think that's... Oh, I just dropped a screw onto my keyboard. That's bad. Thankfully, I have tweezers to save the screw. Alright, so let's pull that lock nut. Goes there. And this lock nut goes there. And this nut goes here. 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 So these screws are the same as these screws. Okay, so maybe we don't need a separate container for screws. Maybe there's not that many. There's a lot on the shorter side. Oh, this is a new size. So that's another new size. And that's dropped onto the keyboard. And this is the same as this. Okay, so yeah, okay. Okay, I think we've discovered that we probably do not need the calipers. I know I got the calipers out. Everyone was excited. So this is where the battery goes. This looks like a pen holder, right? This looks like a pen holder. We got the battery in here. But then this also is the size of the battery. So if the battery was loose, I could clip it in there, I guess. And it came with a battery installed already. So I don't know. So this is here, and then, yeah. I got a 35mm lens on this thing. It's the Canon RF35. It is a, I don't want to say amazing lens. It's literally my favorite lens. If the EOS R only had this lens, I wouldn't have spent as much money as I did to buy it. But if it was the same camera with only 35 and it was cheaper than what I paid, then it would be amazing. But I do occasionally use other lenses. You might be saying, well, why aren't you using I have a different lens. I have a different L lens. It's a nice lens. Problem is it's an older L lens. And if I have it facing straight down, it will slowly slide all the way down to maximum zoom. That doesn't go there, that goes here. And this goes here. And this goes here. Look at that. I guess we should take out these screws. I don't know if any of these are the same length, but there might be. And then maybe we can move stuff here. We need lock washers in their own one. We need lock nuts and regular nuts in their own one. We could move dampers and these into this container, into the plastics container. That is the thing we could do. And then we could spread out our spacers a bit. But to be honest, I think it's fine if all my spacers are... That exploded a lot bigger than I was expecting. In one place, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, like, if you had all your spacers separate, you could be like, oh, I got X number of the super skinny spacer, and I have X number of the thicker spacer, and stuff like that. But it's fine. I just wish I had more lock nuts. Boop. 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 That doesn't go there. That goes over there. Yeah, that goes there. So we have another size again. This is the jumbo ones. Okay, that's why I suspected. So the jumbo ones will go into this hole. We have this, which is the same length as these. No, this is a different length. This is shorter. We have another one of these. Another one of these. That screw set sucked. But I have 2 more coming. So I'll have 6 of these. Pile of these. Oddly, not a lot of these. It's hard to believe that these are a different length. I wonder if they're the same length as these. No, these are still shorter and they have a fatter head. Okay, so we're going to put these here. But maybe now all the different screw sizes are accounted for. Ha ha ha, I laugh doubtingly. They're probably not. There's probably still more screw sizes. But I think things are set up pretty good now. With like these 8 spaces. All filled with screws. Oh! One of the fun things about my keyboard is I don't need to worry about dropping screws into it. Because if we lift it up here. Oops, I hit the arrow key. It's one of those what's it? I don't know what the name of it is. But basically what it means is stuff that falls through the keys just lands under the keys, and I can just tilt the keyboard and it'll fall out. You can see these are my Glorious Panda switches, but I have a clicky switch here. Can you It's so cool. I love my Miku keyboard I built. I built myself a Miku keyboard. Are these longer than these they are? I was thinking I had an empty screw slot, but I absolutely don't. In fact, I don't have enough screw slots. So let's open this up now. And let's assume that mass dampers will go here. And we're going to leave these. These deal with rollers. Actually, we're going to put these here because these deal specifically with rollers, except for this piece. This piece will stick. I guess we'll stick it here because it is different. It goes. I'm going to have more of these. So those are rollers. We'll put the Jungo. The Jungo? I don't even know what they would mean. The gigantic, enormous screws here. And this size, a screw. Oops. Here. Just leave us another, shorter than this, but longer than this, and go here. We got lock washers, we got washers, we got nuts, we got some lock nuts, we got spacers, just kind of jumbled in the corner. FRP plates. I guess more can stack underneath because it is on an angle. Plastic bit that I don't know what it does. Some rollers. We can actually put the rollers in the same. Well, no, these are 19s. So this is where the 19s go. This is where the 13s go. Caps, mass dampers, spring. So all our extra parts, including 2 things we opened, are now organized. We're not using this, and we're technically not using this. We're using it to store extra things. We don't have to do it with that. We can actually put proper use to that. So this is good for now. I know you can get bigger ones. I got these though because they're small. I don't have a lot of desk space. Because my monitor's right here. Like, I'm going to poke my monitor with tweezers. You can still see the tweezers. So if I put my finger there, this is how far away it is. So there's limited space. And it's currently all filled with little plush animals. Because this is how you keep things clean. But I like them. They're cool. They're my fluffy friends. And we have eggnog here too. We have eggnog. Look at eggnog. Eggnog is from the Pokemon Center. Online. Look at that. Pokemon Center. It says Togekiss. Look at his belly. This is all sewn. This is all stitching. Stitching. He is quality eggnog. Quality eggnog. I do kind of want a Snorlax. No, I do want a Donut Lord. Having a Donut Lord would be nice. Also, this right here. What's this little orange thing? A plastic piece that I don't know what it does. So into the container it goes. Okay, that's it. I'm organized. That took me 34 minutes with some camera messing around. I'm happy with my current setup. Those stack nicely. Tamiya wrenches. I have no idea what to do with these. I thought these were completely useless, but then I noticed when I was a screw. That is totally a screw for building. It's one of these. I noticed when I was building, and I looked at the chips that you use to adjust angled angles of your rollers, it fits in this, like right here, so you can hold them straight while you screw it down. So technically, I do need these wrenches. They're technically important. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to my stream. Thanks anyone who actually watched this. Hopefully you can tell the camera looks better. I did some side-by-side screenshots. I posted them on Twitter. They do, it do be better. It do be much better, so I'm happy. And I wish everyone who watched this, thank you and a fond